All right, so I pay 50 to 100K being a part of masterminds or going to events each year. And you can think, that's absolutely crazy. Like, why in the world would you ever do something like that, right? Where does that money actually go? And I used to feel this way as well. But after studying successful people, I discovered that, just as Jim Rohn says, you're the average of the 5 people that you spend the most time with. So if you're not in the room with people that are at the next level or a couple levels ahead, I think it's really important to consider being a part of a group that's a paid mastermind. Now, if you're a passive investor, I also think this is for you. And I'm going to get into why I think that is, why you should consider being a part of a paid mastermind. Or if you're active in real estate or investing, I think it's really important. So if you want to get ahead, you have to invest in yourself. I'm going to go over in 3 easy steps. Let's jump in. All right, my name is Bronson Hill. I'm the CEO of Bronson Equity. We help investors get passive income, especially cash flow, through things like ATM machines, car washes, oil and gas, and multifamily deals. You can check us out at bronsonequity.com. So what really is a mastermind? Where does this term even come from, right? Well, this guy Napoleon Hill, and no, he's not my brother, maybe he is, but he's the same last name as me, but not the same guy. The book called Think and Grow Rich. If you haven't read the book, it's a phenomenal, phenomenal book. But he basically studied hundreds of uber successful people at the time, around 100 years ago, and found that every single one of these had this group of people around them that they were able to kind of brainstorm on things and solve problems together. And I even see that now, like in my own life or other people's lives. People have people around them that can kind of help build this community. So whether it was, at his time, it was Andrew Carnegie or Henry Ford, all this, they had these people around them. And the idea of a mastermind is it's not one person's mind, it's multiple people's minds being combined together to help solve a problem. Now, if you've ever been on a great team, through work or through school or something, you realize like there's this, you can produce much better than one person can produce on their own. So that's the idea of what a mastermind is. But in the context of paid mastermind, so this is a paid group people come into. Typically, there's a community element of it. There's learning. Tony Robbins has this saying that proximity is power. So again, if I want to get to the next level in my investing, if I want to get in the next level of how much money I can raise or what sort of business I can have, I need to get in the room with people that are at 2 or 3 or 4 steps ahead. And what that will do is I'll start thinking like them, because I'll hear them talk, or I'll be around them, I'll ask questions. And what happens is I begin to just be pulled up. And it's almost like a subconscious thing that just happens because you're in the room, you're in a peer group with them. So being in the right room is so important. Sometimes you have to pay to be in the right room. I just joined another mastermind called Strategic Coach, which has just an awesome way of how do you manage yourself as an entrepreneur, where you actually take free days. You actually take days that are fully days off, that you have your team take care of things and you don't answer the phone and you don't answer emails. So don't call or email me on those days, or I'll get back to you later, or my team will get back to you, right? So that's been really helpful for me to live a more balanced life. And that's been a huge, huge benefit to me. So what kinds of mastermind groups are there, right? So we have a deal flow mastermind group that we're launching. We've just recently started it. It has to do with, people with net worth north of 2 million that are looking for access to great deals, but don't want to spend the time going to different events or vetting lots of different deals and operators that just can say, hey, I'll pay to be a part of this group. We'll have some pre-vetted deals. We'll get around other passive investors and really have this community where we're doing deals together, right? So I've been a part of some of those groups. They've been really super powerful. One of the most transformative relationships as a passive investor that you'll find is other passive investors, right? So in the financial world, or in the real estate world or syndication, everybody's trying to sell you something, right? A passive investor doesn't have anything to sell. So if you can create a relationship there, they're very willing often to share, hey, what's gone well, what hasn't gone well, what operators have been great, who do you follow, who are the things you like. And so that's why as a passive investor, we've created that for passive investors to be able to create that community as well as get access to deal flow. I'm also part of a group called Kingdom REI, which is for more active investors, some passive, but it's basically faith-based, the faith-based group offering support in real estate, raising money, doing deals, getting involved in real estate. People are very motivated. When you pay, a lot of times there's more accountability there, right? Because you're basically saying, hey, I'm paying this amount of money, and you're basically investing in yourself. There are coaching groups that are out there. There's all kinds of groups. Tony Robbins has a group. I'm not a part of it, but over $100,000 a year, and people that go to the different events and be a part of this, and everybody else is paying that to be in there. Well, the question really comes from all this is it worth the investment? Is it worth the 10 or 20 or 50 or 100K that you're paying for a year to be a part of a group like this, right? And the question, or the thing I would say, is it really depends. And it depends really on you, right? It depends on a few things for you. The first question you ask is, are you personally motivated to invest in yourself? Are you looking at it like you actually, hey, if I pay 25 or 50K or 100K, am I going to find the same amount of value that I invested in at least, right? Am I going to find 50K of value? And a lot of times if you've paid a lot, you're going to do whatever you can. You're going to prepare, you're going to follow up, you're going to make phone calls, you're going to really be invested. A lot of times they've actually done studies on this and found that people get way more, they assign more value to things that they actually paid money for. So you can actually find something that's really cheap, but somebody will value it way less than if they paid more for it. And it's kind of true for this. So why is that? But again, there's something that goes with this, that personal growth and business and financial growth, they go hand in hand. And I've had breakthroughs in different areas of my life. It's almost always happened in the personal growth or kind of the personal area first, and then it leads to some sort of business or financial growth, right? So if you invest in personal growth, and all these groups are kind of a combination of these, you almost always see a growth there. So are you committed to invest in yourself? And do you see the value? Often this will shorten time frames for you. So if you're looking for certain types of deals or the right types of deals, you will find it will help shorten time frames. Or if, hey, I want to start raising money for real estate, again, it's in the room somebody has raised $100 million for real estate, right? That's going to give you a lot of shortcuts because now you have access to this person that's going to help say, if you were to start over, what would you do? And you get those tips and they're kind of helping you along the way, right? Which is awesome. Now, I also have this theory that the more expensive a event is, or more expensive a mastermind is, the better quality people you'll get attending. So for example, I went on an event a while ago. It was a cruise. This was a number of years ago. It was $7,000 to go on this expensive cruise, right? But I made a connection there that basically I hadn't raised a lot of money for real estate, but I raised $15 million with this partner over the next 18 months. So that was incredibly valuable for me, right? Was it worth $7,000? That was probably worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not, $1 million to me personally to be able to be there, right? That was absolutely huge. And so, but if they charged, let's say they charged $1,500 for that cruise, instead of 150 people there, you might have had 1,500 people there, right? And so that would have been much harder. When you pay more for an event, it really limits who's actually going to show up. So it's just something to think about. It's a little counterintuitive, but it's something that I think that's really important to look at. So for me, I want to learn from wealthy, successful people who want to give back to others. My hope is that same for you, my friend, is that you find a way, whatever group it is, whether it's our group, somebody else's group, you find a way to join a group or join multiple groups where you're getting a lot out of and you're growing a lot. It's stretching your mind to be able to grow and develop personally. So really encourage that for you. If you are interested in hearing about our Deal Flow Mastermind group, you can check that out. Send us an email at admin@bronsonequity.com. Just send a short email saying I'm interested in learning more about that. We can set up a call with you and see if it's a good fit. And then I want to share this quote with you. It's from Tony Robbins. It says, "Who you spend time with is who you become." Who you spend time with really is who you become. So who are you spending time with? Are you intentionally getting in a place where you're around people that you admire, you're around people that are at the next level, whether that's spiritually, it's physical health-wise, it's financially. And this is not just one area, it's every area. A lot of times I get in these groups and I find people they're so inspirational on so many different levels, and I love being in that place. So I hope that for you. I wanted to share this quote. This is a mindset quote. This is a video, excuse me. But it's why you're not wealthy or why you're not more wealthy than you are right now. So check that out up here. And then if you haven't joined our investment club, like I said, multifamily, oil and gas, ATM machines, car washes, we're doing it all. We're doing some great cash flowing stuff, which is awesome because cash flow, at least in real estate, has been more hard to come by these days. So we'd love to connect with you, love to get you on our investment list or have you hear about our mastermind. Thanks for taking the time to educate yourself. Look forward to seeing you on the next video.